So far, we have tested our Lambda function by deploying it to the actual Lambda environment on AWS Cloud. In this lecture, you will learn how easy it is to test the Lambda on our local machine by running it inside a Docker container that will simulate the Lambda service of AWS Cloud. For that, you should already have Docker installed. Go back to the README file of the project. And in that, you will find a command called sam local invoke. See this guy here? Sam local invoke hello world function. That is the name of our function. And it also has --event events/event.json. Go to the project. Under the project, you see a events folder and it has a event.json. This is the document that contains the inputs that we can pass to our Lambda function. Here you have a huge event or JSON. This is because when this project was created, if you remember, the input was API gateway POJO. Let me minimize this. If you go back to the earlier code that it had, the input to the Lambda function handle request was API gateway proxy request. So this JSON we are seeing has that API request. So instead of the real request, this JSON request with all the information which typically a API gateway would send lives here. But for our Lambda function, all we need to pass in is a string type. So within double quotes, I'm going to say Bharat. Again, you can add your own name, save it. So this, remember, is just like what we have on the console here. When you test our Lambda function, if you go to the configure test events, see this space. This is exactly what we are having in the event.json, the inputs that should go. You can have a whole JSON. Once you get to events later on, you can pass in entire JSON. In this case, our Lambda function is very simple. All it needs is a string input. When it is hit or invoked, that is what we are passing here. Once you do that, save it, go to your command line, make sure you are under the SAM project, which has the template, and execute this command from the README file. Let me close this event.json, go back to the README file. See this? SAM local invoke hello world function --event/event/json. Copy, paste that command. Local invoke is the command. Hello world is the name of our function. And --event, this specifies where we have the event.json, which is the input. Hit enter. For the very first time this runs, it will download the Docker image and then it will launch a container which will simulate the AWS Lambda service for us. But I have done it before, so in my case, it will not take a long time. In your case, it might take a long time to download the template for the very first time you are running it. See that? So it says invoking hello world app, hello. So it is pulling the image in my case because, as I said, I have run this earlier. It has already pulled this Docker image for me based on the configuration we have in the template.json and whatever project needs. It will automatically pull and simulate the appropriate environment for us, and it mounts the Lambda function by taking the code what we have under .aws-sam build directory. Isn't that cool? And we have an entire Lambda running on our local machine, the entire Lambda service environment simulated. And here you see the output. Lambda functions are super easy and awesome. And then Bharat, whatever you have tested earlier by going to the AWS console and you passed in the same value. Here we are able to do that on our local machine against a simulated Lambda environment, which is hosted on a Docker container for us. If you say Docker images at this point, you will see a ton of new images that got pulled onto your machine. See this? Amazon AWS SAM CLI emulation image. That is the one that is emulating the Lambda service for us.